right, everyone, welcome back to Sidewalks. Both of our guests today have been on some fan-favorite programs in their careers. Of course, we can't forget actor Penn Badgley from Gossip Girl, John Tucker Must Die, The Stepfather, just to name a few. And we have the lovely actress Elizabeth Lail, best known for her role as Anna in the series Once Upon a Time. Now together, Penn and Elizabeth star in the Lifetime show You. Welcome, Penn and Elizabeth, to Sidewalks. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
I'm huge fans of you. We all have fans here at Sidewalks here of both of you. And we wanted to, before we get started in talking about the Lifetime show You, wanted to flash back. I'm wondering if maybe you can share that aha moment when you decided you wanted to pursue acting. Everyone has a different story, so I'm curious if you can briefly share between both of you.
Oof. You mean just in general, or you mean in regards to this show?
In life, I think.
In life.
Just in general in regards to your career.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it was a very long time ago. I was like probably 6 or so, and then I was
Whoa.
Wow.
I was actually professional and working in television, like in network television, by the time I was 12. So it was a long time ago.
Wow.
Wow.
My mom forced me to do a play when maybe I was 12, and of course I was scared, very scared. But I ended up meeting, some of my best friends through the theater, and I did like summer camp for acting. It kept being the thing that I was good at, and I just kept doing it. So I don't know if there was any aha moment, any specific moment, but it felt really right.
Yeah. That was probably it. That feeling of feeling right is usually the aha.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously you guys have been having some wonderful success, Penn, since the age of 6, my goodness. I wanted to know, what ultimately do you think helped prepare you guys to become actors? Do you feel like it's maybe some other actors that you watched, or maybe some of the work that you've done?
Well, when I was 5, I just really went through some tough times, so I think... no, sorry. That's a good question. I look at acting in a way that is not that complicated. I see it, well, in a way it is, but in a way it's very simple. It's like I see it as this very spiritual, emotional, psychological process that doesn't have to be overcomplicated by a technique or a method. There are probably many people who would disagree with me, who are probably more talented than I am, but that's just the way that I see it. I mean, a show like this one was an exercise in being extremely present for every moment, and not trying to play who I think the character is, because human beings are so illimitably vast and infinite in their qualities. I mean, think about the faculty of imagination. It's like it's essentially infinite, and that's just one person, And so I think like the idea that Joe is a stalker, the idea that Joe is so many things actually beyond that are kind of terrible and violent. Like I was never playing that. I was if I had to do some of those things are happening, but that's not the way people think of themselves, I think. So I sort of maintain that, and that maybe speaks to the way that I approach acting.
Yeah. Now, obviously, both of you are starring in this show, Lifetime show You. It's a 21st century twisted love story. Now, we briefly touched on a little bit of the character from you, Penn. Can you tell us a little bit more about your roles and why this story is going to be pretty twisted? Because I've seen the trailer and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on in the show?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is being touted as a 21st century love story. I know that that's a compelling line. I don't see it as much as a love story because I have to play the guy who does the bad stuff. But I mean, I know that Elizabeth, you. I
do see it as a love story.
There we go.
There we go.
Just to be contrary.
No, it's great.
Penn and I are often discussing love and what is love, and I think for these two people, they, are only capable of loving to a certain extent, and for them, it is full of love at times, but if we were, to take a broader look at it, you couldn't really call it love because it's actually death and destruction and...
Yeah, it's...
pain and lust
Yeah.
and
And none of these things might be mutually
Passion.
exclusive. Yeah, right, passion. But it's like I think we see where love is confused with other things.
but love stories
Yeah.
are often attempts at loving.
Yeah.
You know, who is
That's true. That's
succeeding
very
to
true.
love every day? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too because your characters in the show, it seems like they're using social medias from what I've been seeing from the trailers and some of the stuff, and pretty much people stalk, I feel, on social media in general. But I'm curious, have either of you secretly stalked people on social media, and is this something that's going to be used throughout the show? Just to give us a little of some hints.
It's very much something that is used
In the show.
throughout the show. I mean, it is significant that like we have these sort of like social laws, even in social media, where you're like, don't what's the term? I think it's like creeping or something. It's like if you go or lurking or trolling, it's like if you scroll too far down in somebody's Instagram
Yeah. There's a
history,
term. I don't know what it is.
and you accidentally like it, it's considered
Social suicide.
creepy because what you've demonstrated is that you didn't just look at somebody's most recent post, you went to their account and then you were like, I'm interested in you, I'm going to scroll down. But of course that's what it's there for. What else is it there for? I mean, literally,
Yeah.
what else is it there for? However, when people do it, it's like, oh, that's creepy because we're all like keeping up these airs of like, no, I'm just like living this life.
breezy,
You know what I mean?
breezy Instagram
But
life.
no one actually treats it that way. So I think maybe Joe is a person who's calling that bluff, and then some, to be honest.
And you know what I
Yeah.
find interesting about the show is Joe doesn't have a social media that's public.
Yeah, that he doesn't use.
Right, that it's not used for stalking purposes. And I think
Oh.
that's a part, and Beck is very entrenched in the social media world, and I think a part of her attraction to Joe is that he doesn't have that. She thinks she's getting to know him in a quality way,
Yeah.
which makes it even more tragic.
Well, she sees him as old-fashioned and maybe authentic.
Right.
That's fine. Okay. Well, before we wrap, you guys, I wanted to ask: have either of you done anything crazy for love, or has anything done anything crazy to you for love?
I mean, I got married, so that's that.
You got married.
How crazy is that? I think that's
That's
pretty
crazy.
extreme.
That's crazy enough.
What about you?
I don't know. The things I think of, they're not crazy. They're romantic.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hopeless romantics. Well, thank you so much for being here with us, Penn Elizabeth. Of course, we can't leave without saying we hope that Gossip Girl and Once Upon a Time get maybe rebooted, and it would be awesome if it did, because we all keep raving about it back here. So
My lips are
I hope you
sealed.
guys are excited about that. All right, thank you so much. Much continued success to you both.
Thank you
for
so
joining
much.
us today. All right, bye-bye.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.